Hi, I'm Milla from the Rookie Reporters, and today I'll be talking ice hockey. I'll be teaching you all the basics you need to know and the specifics as the NHL playoff season begins. I live in Australia, so ice hockey is not big at all. We do have a national league, and after attending a few local games, I knew it was a sport worth getting into. I've been a fan for about 5 years now, and I'm a New Jersey Devils fan in the NHL. I love talking about hockey, so make sure to check out the Rookie Reporters website to read articles and the social medias to find content on all kinds of sports, not just hockey. Ice hockey is a game played with 6 players per team, 3 offensive players, 2 defensive players, and a goalie. The aim of the game is to shoot the puck into the net, however penalties, line changes, and face-offs make it all the more interesting. Penalties can be given for many things, from hooking, high-sticking, and of course roughing, or fighting as it's more commonly known, and the punished player or players being sent to the penalty box, leaving their team down a player, therefore giving the other team a numbers advantage. Penalties can be 2-minute minors or 5-minute majors. Line changes are essentially substitutions, but happen much quicker than they would in a game of soccer. Rather than pausing play to swap out a player or two, coaches will call a whole line to the bench, either offensive or defensive, and they'll get on the ice while another line jumps on. This change is often seamless and the timing is essential to the game. Goals can be scored during regular play, power play, shorthanded, or with an empty net. Power play refers to the advantage teams gain when their opponents have a player in the penalty box, essentially giving them an extra player. Goals scored during this time are referred to as power play goals. Short-handed goals are far less common and very impressive, and refer to goals scored by a team disadvantaged due to a power play, when they are down a player. Playing with an empty net is a strategy used to get players on the ice, usually in the offensive zone, to try and capitalize on goal opportunities. Teams will remove their goalie from the ice, therefore playing with an empty net, and whilst this gives them an offensive advantage, it does put them at risk defensively, giving the other team a clear shot to goal. This move needs to be thought through and executed strategically in order for it to work in the best interest of the team. The National Hockey League consists of 32 teams from Canada and the USA. The NHL is played in the regular season, followed by a playoff tournament to determine the winner of the Stanley Cup. Playoffs are played in a bracket format with 16 teams. Playoffs are mostly division-based, with the addition of 4 wildcard teams, 2 from each conference. The league is split into 2 conferences, the Eastern and the Western. Within these conferences, there are 2 divisions. In the Eastern Conference, there are the Atlantic and Metropolitan divisions. The Western Conference have the Central and Pacific divisions. These divisions are split by regions. Each conference has 16 teams, and each division has 8. The top 3 teams in each division will earn themselves a place in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Currently, as of the 9th of April 2026, these teams are, for the Atlantic Division, the Buffalo Sabres, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Montreal Canadiens. In the Metropolitan Division, Carolina Hurricanes, Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Philadelphia Flyers. In the Central Division, Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, and Minnesota Wild. And in the Pacific Division, Anaheim Ducks, Vegas Golden Knights, and Edmonton Oilers. The wildcard spots are awarded to the top 2 teams from each conference outside of the teams already qualified for the playoffs. These teams are, in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Bruins and Ottawa Senators, and in the Western Conference, Utah Mammoth and Nashville Predators. The ranking and positions of teams are determined by points earned in games. A win, regardless of the number of goals or if it was a shootout, overtime, or regulation win, is equal to 2 points. Overtime or shootout losses are equal to 1 point, and regulation losses are 0 points. Currently, the team with the most points overall in the league is the Colorado Avalanche with 112 points. They earn this through 51 wins, 16 regulation losses, and 10 overtime or shootout losses. The bottom team in the league is the Vancouver Canucks with 52 points, earned through their 22 wins, 47 regulation losses, and 8 overtime/shootout losses. The Stanley Cup is one of the highest honors in hockey, and understandably so. The trophy is magnificent and has an incredible history behind it, which I promise to get into shortly. But first, here are the finalists and scores of the past few finals. In 2025, the Florida Panthers beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2. In 2024, the Florida Panthers beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-3. In 2023, the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Florida Panthers 4-1. In 2022, the Colorado Avalanche beat Tampa Bay Lightning 4-2. And in 2021, the Tampa Bay Lightning beat Montreal Canadiens 4-1. Now for the history of the Cup itself. The Stanley Cup is the oldest trophy competed for by professional athletes in North America. It started as a presentation for the top hockey team in Canada, first awarded to the Montreal Amateur Athletic Association. Since 1926, the Stanley Cup competition has been under control of the National Hockey League, the NHL. The Montreal Canadiens are the most successful team in Stanley Cup history with 24 victories. The cup itself features a silver bowl on top of a 5-band barrel. Each band is capable of holding 13 championship teams, including the names of all the players. Every 13 years, when the bottom band is full, the oldest band is removed and placed in a Hall of Fame, while the others are moved up to make room for the new base. The cup has been on many journeys and adventures over the years, from being stolen, lost, and misplaced. After a victory in 1905, members of the Ottawa Silver Seven decided to drop-kick the trophy into a canal where it was rescued the next day. 2 years later, in 1907, the Montreal Wanderers left the cup with a photographer who took it home for a flower pot and used it as a rose bowl on her mantle for 2 months before anyone noticed it was missing. After a flat tire mishap in 1924, the champions of the league, Montreal Canadiens, accidentally left the cup in the snow before remembering to retrieve it after a celebratory party. Since then, the cup is much better protected and used for celebrations, photos, and drinking champagne out of. The cup travels for 300 days of the year with the winning team for summer celebrations. However, to keep it safe, an official from the Hockey Hall of Fame called a keeper of the cup is always by its side with white gloves on, ready to intervene if and when celebrations get too rowdy. The current keeper of the cup, Mike Bolt, once said, "The Stanley Cup is meant to be shared and enjoyed. It's out in the community every day, so accidents do happen. It's now 134 years old, and there are a few nicks and bangs on it for sure." The cup has been taken all sorts of places. After the Chicago Blackhawks victory in 2010, Brent Sobel brought the cup to a pride parade, and in 2022, Nazem Kadri became the first player to bring the cup to a mosque. The cup is not only a symbol of success and victory, but also hope, peace, and love, shared with teams and communities all over North America. Now back to today. Here are some standout teams and players to look out for ahead of the playoffs. First and foremost, the amazing Montreal Canadiens. Nick Suzuki and Jurek Slavkovsky have returned from incredible Olympic runs and continue to use their magic to push the Canadiens higher and higher in the standings. Secondly, the very dominant Colorado Avalanche. The incredible talents that are Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon are without a doubt some of the best players in the league. The two of them and the rest of their team and coaches have climbed to a comfortable league on the league table and a clinched playoff spot. Pacific Division's Anaheim Ducks have also been climbing the leaderboard with the combined efforts of the whole team, but especially leading goal scorer Cutter Gauthier, the alternate captain and man leading the team in points, Leo Carlson, and the unbelievable efforts of goaltender Lucas Dostal. Along with those names, it's impossible to leave out young star Beckett Seneca, who has been growing more and more confident showing his talents on the ice. The New York Islanders have also been notable this season with their ability to use draft picks and trades to create an almost unstoppable team. So far completely unstoppable in overtime. Their recent trade to acquire Andre Palat from the New Jersey Devils and their number 1 draft selection of 18-year-old defenseman Matthew Schaefer have helped them create an unbelievable team. The playoffs have a completely different vibe to the regular season, in all the best ways. There are endless awesome and silly traditions that make it so special, so here are just a few of my favorites. The Florida Panthers Rat Trick. In Miami Arena on opening night in 1996, Panthers forward Scott Mellanby had to remove a rat from the stadium prior to puck drop. He then scored 2 goals after the game, and goalkeeper Vansbjerg made a joke that the accomplishment was a rat trick, and that started it all. Fans began bringing toy rats to the games and tossing them onto the ice after Panther goals. The NHL eventually banned the tossing of rats due to the sheer amount that were thrown onto the ice. But fans keep the tradition alive during the team's competitive season. The playoff beard. One of the most well-known traditions. Players don't shave their beards whilst in the playoffs until they're eliminated, usually leading to the winning team celebrating with long beards. This photo is believed to be the first photo of a playoff beard from May 24, 1980, showing New York Islanders captain Dennis Potvin reaching out to touch the Stanley Cup. WAG playoff jackets. This tradition has been around for at least a decade, with custom-made jackets for the significant others of players, or WAGs, wives and girlfriends, incorporating team logos, players' names, and numbers into designs. Unlike football and basketball, it's uncommon for WAGs to wear their significant other's jerseys or even team colors to games during the regular season. Therefore, the playoff-specific jacket are their way of representing their significant others and celebrating the accomplishment of making it to the playoffs. And with that, I think I've covered all I've needed to. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to comment anything you've learnt, anything I've missed, and anything you'd like to see next. I'm Milla from the Rookie Reporters, and I hope to see you soon.